Hello, my name is Sally Jake, and I'm an avid comic book reader, and I wanted to start making videos where I could just as an outlet where I could just talk about comics. I thought I'd start by just doing these, like little quick review videos, where I talk about a new comic that came out this week, and yeah, just thought I would, take it like week to week, maybe see if I want to do more or want to do some other things, but just as like a starter thing, just as a little outlet where I can talk about comics because I don't get to a lot of the times in my regular day-to-day life. So thought I'd just find some place to do that. This week the comic I wanted to talk about is Generation X-23 from Marvel, written by Jody Houser and drawn by Jacopo Carmagni. And yeah, so this is part of Marvel's like current X-Men lineup of books, and I'll be honest, I am really checked out Marvel's X-Men stuff for the moment because I'm just not really that interested. It all seems pretty fine, like not great, not the worst ever, but it's just like, ooh, coming off of like the Krakoa era, it all just feels like everything just went back to like standard X-Men stuff, and it all feels like very superficial, a lot of like cash grab, like throwback to like 90s stuff, and like or just like throwing together teams with like, hey, here's all your favorite characters on a team. I'm like, okay, that's fine, I guess, but it's just not that interesting at all. It doesn't feel like it's like very like creatively driven necessarily. It all feels like very, like I said, superficial, just kind of boring and standard. And so like, yeah, I'm not really big on X-Men right now. I am reading this book, of course, because it stars Laura Kinney, and Laura Kinney is my favorite character. As you can see, I've got the Laura Kinney shirt. And yeah, I haven't been super happy with how she's been written the last couple of years as well. Even during the Kruger era, which I actually quite enjoyed for the most part, I felt she was underserved as a character, as a lot of characters were. Yeah, it's a thing that happens, unfortunately, but it's of course especially frustrating when it's your favorite character, as Laura is mine. And even coming off of the Crooker era, she had her own solo series last year, Laura Kinney Wolverine, which was done by a different creative team. And then, like, she also had a 3-issue mini at the last X-Men event that just wrapped up, and this is coming off of that. And yeah, I'm just all of it has been like not very good to me. I feel like they've really forgotten that Laura Kinney's been Wolverine for 10 years now, and so like people, she's still written and treated like she's like still a teenager, and like a lot of her stories feel like very regressive. They keep taking her back to being that angsty teenager who had just left the facility, the Weapon X program and everything, just stopped being an assassin and was still like trying to find herself and discover who she was. And like that all happened already though, and I feel like by the time she becomes Wolverine, she's already been through so much, and you know like they just don't seem to really like understand that anymore. Like the writers, like during the Kruger era and even more recently, like she's been treated more like she is still like new to being Wolverine or being a superhero. It's like, well, she's been around for quite a while. We don't need to still keep treating her like she's the kid, that she's new, or that her past is still haunting her as much as they seem to think it does. Like she's been through a lot. She, I think, is mostly over a lot of that stuff. Like obviously you never get over like she went through some horrible shit, but like she's overcome that and like moved on with her life and grown as a person, and it feels like a lot of writers and Marvel in general just keep forgetting that. And so like going into this series, I was not super excited. Honestly, I had pretty low expectations. Even with Jody Houser at the helm, like I really like Jody Houser. I think she's a fantastic writer, but like I just haven't been like as trustful with how Marvel handles Laura, and even with a great writer like her, I was like not super hopeful going into this. And even like, especially because like the premise of this book is like it's more we're going back to the facility and the legacy of X-23 and like taking mutants and turning them into weapons and cloning them and all this. And like it's just that's something that's been done so many times. We've revisited those ideas before in other Laura stories and other runs, and so like it just feels like we've already treaded that. We don't need to keep coming back to this thing. Like Laura is so much more than just where she started. Obviously, like she is an adult now. She's her own hero. She took the Wolverine mantle from Logan and made it her own. She's been a big sister to Gabby. Like so much has happened, and so going into this, I'm just like, well, I don't really. I feel like it's just gonna be more of the same of like what Marvel's been doing the last several years with her, and like while this didn't totally like blow my mind, it what didn't undo a lot of like the like negative opinions I had going into it. It was pretty good. I will say, I think like Jody Houser, like I said, she is a good writer, and I think she demonstrated here that she definitely understands who Laura is at this moment in time. And like I mean, she definitely read like All New Wolverine and recent runs because like there are like direct references to recent runs in this, and so like it definitely like comes across that like she understands like Laura is so much more than just X-23 now. She is Wolverine, she is her own person, and she's been through so much more and has definitely grown and changed a lot over the years. She is not who she was back then. And like even like like I said, like it kind of takes the premise, like it takes things back to that time a little bit, but like it doesn't do so in a way that where I feel like we are regressing Laura or re-traumatizing her or in any way. I think like the way she like is motivated in this story is definitely about like facing threats in the present day and worrying about like the future rather than worrying about the past. And like just the way she's written, I think like definitely comes across that Jody definitely understands Laura. And I was also really just happy to see Gabby and Laura back together. They had been like pretty separate for the last several years since like 2019. They come together a few times, but they didn't have a series together like they had with All New Wolverine and the Mariko Tamaki X-23 series. So like it was fun to see them together again, like fully, like and like it feels like no time has passed since like those previous runs. Like they are just like back into it, and like their dynamic feels exactly the same. Like Laura, she's the brooding adults, and Gabby is the fun, humorous, spunky kid that cuts through Laura's bullshit sometimes. And yeah, it is like really nice, and I do enjoy how their dynamic is written. It's like really on point. I will say like there's definitely like there's just a little teaser at the very end about like the new mutants, the kids that are part of like this new iteration of the facility or Weapon X or whatever it's called, and like even that elements, like I feel like we are going in a newer direction rather than like fully like going back to like, oh well, more clones of Laura or whatever. Like it feels like we're doing a bit more than just retreading like previous runs and stuff like that. And there's like one moment like there's a kind of a important story element that is introduced right at the beginning that immediately like catches your attention and feels like, oh, this feels totally different. Like this feels like its own thing. Like we're not just, this is more than just like a standard like story about like you know, Laura. It's more than just like a standard like Wolverine story where he's just like where, you know, it's just like it's a Wolverine character, they got claws, they get bloody, and like they are going on bloody quests to save some mutants or whatever. It feels like there's a lot more going on, and like some big fantastical elements, which is kind of exciting. I really like that, and I think that's something that is missing from some more recent runs, is like this like very like fun element where it's just like, oh, this is new and exciting. Like we are seeing something that is like we've never really seen before with Laura and like with her adventures. So I'm like, okay, this is exciting. I'm kind of into this. You know, it doesn't fully like assuage any feelings I had about like, you know, this being just you know, just okay or just like not great. Like I said, it's only one issue, so we'll see how I feel as the series continues. But for right now, I am a bit more hopeful. I'm gonna try to hold on to those feelings as best I can. Like you know, it's hard. Like when you're a Laura Kinney fan, like it is hard to hold on to those feelings because like your heart gets broken so many times. You like really excited about like new things and new developments for Laura, and they just fall flat or are terrible. The NYX book, so fucking bad, so terrible. Please just no more of that, please. And the book wasn't even that. I mean, it was pretty bad for Laura, but it was pretty just bad in general. And so I hope like this is just the start of like some better things happening for Laura and for Gabby as well. There's no Jonathan, unfortunately. No Jonathan, the actual Wolverine. I hope he appears in later issues, but you know, it's pretty decent. Not much to say about the arts. I thought it was fine. It was, you know, it was good, but the colors were a little bit drab. But other than that, like it was decent. Uh, yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about this. I would say this is pretty decent, worth picking up, especially if you are a Laura fan and you have been like soured on like recent stories with her. Like this feels pretty good. Like it's a decent start, and we'll see where it goes from here. Yep, and that's all I have to say. Yeah, I will check back in with this series as it continues. I will probably make another video next week talking about another book. I think I have a book in mind that I'll have a lot to say about. And yeah, thanks. Bye.